Okay, to take the cover off, basically you have your wing nut here, so it's going to be closed like that. Just take your finger, pop it in there, and then just counterclockwise, and you just unscrew it and set that aside. Then here you have your bar here with your chain on it, and then rotate this wheel here, and you'll see that the chain falls off. You're loosening by moving the bar in the direction of the chainsaw itself. So just turn that a little bit, and then it'll come off very easily. Slide it right off this screw right here, and there you have it. This is the container right here, and as you can see, there's a little logo there with a little drop in a chain, so indicating that your chain oil goes in here. Here's your cap, and then here's a little window that when it's full, you're going to see that is going to be a dark black when it's full, so you can gauge when your oil is getting low, and you definitely want to have chain lube in there. And I'll show you where it comes out here in a second. On the bar, you're going to see where the oil comes out, and I'll show you the hole. There's the hole right there, and you'll see that right there is where the oil comes out, and you'll see the tooth of the chain actually sliding across that hole, so the oil gets picked up by the chain, and so that's how it gets lubricated on the groove of the chain bar. So this is where the oil comes out, the chain oil. So it's going to come out this little hole, it's going to drip down in here, and then it's going to lubricate your chain.
So you can see this bar is symmetric shape, and you're typically cutting on the bottom edge, so the bottom edge of this chain bar gets the most wear. And you can flip the bar over, and all you have to do is take the adjustment mechanism off this side. Is held on by one screw. Okay. Take that screw off, take the gears off, put it on this side, put the screw in on the, so you effectively move this over and screw it from the other side, and then you're using the other side of the bar, so you get twice the life out of the bar.
But what if you're using your chainsaw like every day?
Well, I mean, pros might flip their bar every day or every other day if you're cutting all day long.
And just the casual user, the homeowner?
I flip mine a couple times this summer, maybe.
How would you tell if your bar is wearing down on the cutting side?
You'll actually get the paint will wear off, and you might get, if you get it hot, you can see the paint will burn off, and you can also get burrs right here. So you can always take a flat file and file the burrs off, which is a good thing because you don't want them hanging up when you're trying to cut into the slot of the wood. So take the burrs off, and then I like to flatten the top with a ski edge file, 90-degree ski edge file as well, when it gets worn to a certain point and it gets sloppy. But the chain teeth, the teeth on the bottom of the chain run in this groove, so as they move around, they tend to wear the inside of the bar. So there's a point where the bar just gets too sloppy. Even a brand new chain in there wobbles a lot, and if you wear it too far down, it just doesn't work either. So you need a certain amount of space in there for the oil and the sawdust and all the crud. So you can usually tell they're usually pretty paint free and pretty smoked. This is basically brand new.
So what you're looking at here is, this is the device, this little cog with the little grooves on it, and this is what's going to tighten your chain or loosen your chain. So when that knob that I talked about earlier, when you turn that on the cover, and that is going to be that right there, as you can see, is it has teeth in it that interconnect with these teeth in here, and as you turn this knob right there, it's going to move this either clockwise or counterclockwise. This little gear here, as you can see, if we go like this, see how you can see it's going this direction, it's going to tighten the chain. And if we go clockwise, you can see that it moves forward. So it's going to loosen the chain by moving the bar back like this.
Oops.
And you can see it right here. It's moving right along with and pushing the bar either out or in as we turn the knob there. So that's how it works in the electric Stihl chainsaw here that I have. So this is the position that you have the teeth. As you can see, you have the cutting teeth of the chain, and they're pointed to the outside.
Just like this.
Okay, so when you put the chain on, you want to have the bar pointing up to the sky. You start at the tip, you lock it in that little wheel, you come down and you run the chain and put it down in the groove in the bar on both sides and make sure that it's in there, and then you seat it. And then you just tighten the wheel a little bit. Take your cover, pop your cover on. Tighten a little bit. And then you want to check your tension. Make sure you can move the chain. And you want to adjust your tightening knob, your wheel there. And there you have it. Chain's back on, everything's good to go.
So file has teeth that bite in only one direction. So if you listen to this, if I'm moving the file against my fingernail, you can hear it's filing. In this direction, it's smooth and it's not biting. So I'm going to be pushing this into the teeth to bite into the teeth. So it's a stroke this way, and you want to use these angles for different directions of the teeth on the bar. So it's easier to do all of them in one direction, every other tooth, and then flip over and file all the teeth that go the other way. So this line here, 30 degrees, lines up with the bar, and I'm using it on these type of teeth, every other teeth that's at that angle. So I'm going to be pulling and then going up here, filing that tooth, filing that tooth. I started at the green mark, so then I run and I push the chain back and I get up to the next tooth that I haven't done, and I do that one, then I do that one, run it back, get this one, etc. I keep going around doing all the teeth in that direction until the green mark comes back, and then I know that I've been around the chain. Then I'm going to rotate my file so it's going the other way, and I'll start with this tooth. This line is parallel with the bar. That gives me this nice teeth angle, and the teeth angle being the same makes the chain cut straight, and it's just less wear and tear, quicker cutting, and keeping that angle. And a lot of times, unless you've hit a piece of steel or a rock or something, it only takes 1 or 2 strokes on each tooth to keep a saw, tuned up. And I like to sharpen my chain before I put my saw away, so if I need it, it's ready to rock and roll. Have full oil and a sharp chain. If you need it in a storm or something, it's ready to rock and roll. There's our green link. There's our last one. Okay.
So there you have it. This is the Stihl MSA 60C electric chainsaw, and this is basically something that it's a compact chainsaw, and you can take it with you. I've got 2 batteries that go with it, and They go right there in the battery compartment. And then there's your handle mechanism down there. And then you have your chain brake right up here. And there's your bar. And there, right there again, is where you put your chain oil in. And I suggest that when you store this, that you store your chainsaw, this chainsaw, up like this, with the wing nut facing up, if you put it in a gearbox or anything like that, if you're traveling, because otherwise what's going to happen is if you have oil in there, it's going to seep out through that little hole there, and it'll get all over your container. So just FYI, but otherwise, really good tool. So when I'm traveling, I put the chainsaw in a Frontrunner Wolfpack Pro case, and it fits perfectly. And I put all my gear in there. I even could put chain oil in there. I keep the manual in there just in case. Put some gloves, some extra chains, put the files, put the chain bar in there, and it fits perfectly. And then what I do is I throw it up top on the rack.